K-pop is huge these days, and with group and solo comebacks rolling out practically every day, it's really hard to break through the oversaturation. I mean, as much as I live and breathe K-pop at times, my busy ass can barely keep up with my biases and our great community here to stay on top of every single comeback. But then again, that's probably for the best. We all know K-pop is a wellspring of talent and energy, and like every well, if you get too close, you'll fall in and end up in some post-reality realm of crazy characters, angry queens, and extra hot tea, honey. Or at least that's the world that I live in. I don't know. But for today's video, we're taking a look at the songs that were overshadowed by more popular songs at the time of the run. Popular songs in the sense that these acts were winning the awards, getting millions of views, and killing it in the sales for the strong support from their fan base. These are some of my personal underrated favorite K-pop songs from over the years, and you are more than free to share other overshadowed K-pop songs in the comment section below. So, let's get started. "2015 is often regarded as a great year for many K-pop fans because almost every single major K-pop group had a comeback that year. Big Bang was dominating a lot of the year with 2 new songs released at the beginning of every month from May to August, basically throughout the summer. Summer 2015 was also packed with a lot on top of that with SHINee's View, AOA's Heart Attack, EXO's Love Me Right, Girls' Generation's Party, and more. But in July of 2015, 9 Muses and Stellar both released great comebacks. 9 Muses had Hurt Locker, while Stellar had Vibrato. Both group comebacks were spectacular in my opinion, and despite the controversy with Stellar, you cannot deny that Vibrato was amazing. I personally put those 2 songs above all those songs that I just mentioned earlier, except maybe Love Me Right, because that was great too. It was a busy summer with fans fanning themselves constantly with all the hot comebacks, while I was over here appreciating the cooler songs. I know, that was such an awful pun, but I'm not proud, but it definitely got my point across, okay? Undercover, hey, yes, okay. Back in pre-COVID May of 2019, K-pop fans can be forgiven for being distracted from some amazing hitting comebacks because of releases from the 2 of the genre's biggest groups, BTS and Blackpink. With the opposing releases of Blackpink's Kill This Love and BTS's Boy With Love, the titles alone could not have been more divisive to the community. It's not hard to guess what happened next. But in the same month, there was also a successful comeback from GOT7 and their song Eclipse, and as a result, there was a less buzz around the less popular acts. Personally, I absolutely love Namuhyun's Hold On Me a lot, and also really enjoyed Ace's Undercover and IZ's Eden, that all came out during the brouhaha of K-pop Twitter fan wars. While they were fighting to the death, I was sipping my iced coffee and enjoying my Woohyun, the boys from Thailand, and a rock anthem that slapped, if that was ever a thing. And I really have no regrets. Them bitches missed out. Much of the year after July 2012 was spent on the global phenomenon that was PSY's Gangnam Style, which went mega viral for several months. It was everywhere, and it dominated the charts, music show wins, and everyone's attention. Unfortunately, it also dominated the rest of the K-pop releases going on during that span. Hell, even TVXQ's Catch Me didn't even have a win because of it, and that song was fantastic! Alright, sorry. But yeah, in that time, the amazing debut of 100%'s Bad Boy, BTOB's Wow, and even AOA's Get Out, along with many others, all released during the Gangnam Style mania. Sad to say, the focus was still on PSY and the record-breaking success. Some of y'all did those songs dirty, but at the very least, we can all agree that despite the world having all eyes on PSY, that year in K-pop is still one of the greatest. If you follow my channel, you'll know by now that I love Dreamcatcher to the moon and back, and continually work closely with our coven of fellow insomnia to maintain their immortality and seek vengeance on our enemies. And of course, I have also spoken relentlessly about how they've been robbed of so many wins over the years. It's really a tragedy and a damn shame, so we have to commune with the dark forces and the dead of night to cope. Their May 2018 comeback, ONEUE, is hands down one of my all-time favorites. It was perfection. But this comeback came right as Twice as What Is Love was already dominating beforehand and then segued into G-Friend's Time for the Moon Night before Dreamcatcher's release. Then BTS's Fake Love came out just a week later. Well, ain't that some shit.
The fuck? The fuck? The fuck is in the air?
So yeah, the girls only had a very small window to break through, and boy do I know how to break through the windows. Their chances of winning were smashed, and of course, the competing fandoms were busy engaging in Twitter wars. So, in true fashion, Dreamcatcher and I went back to what we did best, conjuring beautiful dark forces and wishing harm upon our enemies. Thank you very much.
Oh, baby, stay with me. 내 곁에만 있어. 저리가 내 전부. 내게 안녕이란 말하지 마. 그런 눈빛으로 내게 말하지 마.
If you were a Gen 2 K-pop fan back in the day, you would have been familiar with MBLAQ. They were a group who consistently put out great tracks, but were unfortunately always coming back at the worst times. Most of their comebacks coincided with major artist comebacks, which overshadowed their own comebacks and preventing them from getting a much-deserved win. I found their 2011 tracks to be top-notch, but again, they fell short to the competition each time. With Stay in January 2011, they were up against IU's hugely successful Good Day, the GD and TOP subunit Hi Hi, and the triumphant return of TVXQ as a duo with Why Keep Your Head Down. And then later that summer with Mona Lisa in July 2011, another fantastic song, they were facing very stiff summer competition with major hits by Tiara's Roly Poly, 2NE1's I Am the Best, 2PM's Hands Up, and Miss A's Goodbye Baby. They deserved wins that year in my opinion, but sadly it came down to the timing. One very underrated group in K-pop is CrossGene, and back in February 2017, they released a well-produced Black or White, which featured the group split into two opposing styles. It deserved way more recognition than it received, but unfortunately, they were up against Red Velvet's Rookie and their string of wins before giving way to the releases of BTS's Spring Day and Not Today, which came right before Twice's Knock Knock's comeback. In my opinion, I felt Black or White was a solid release in K-pop that never got the full attention it deserved. But at least us intellectuals took notice while the members were literally killing themselves in the music video. Good times. We'll never forget the year 2020. It was once in a 100 years phenomenon that made us retreat from life and fear for our safety in ways big and small. K-pop did take a break for the most part in terms of releases for a bit, but by the summer and fall of that year, the industry made up for lost time. Blackpink came back in the summer and dominated much of July, and during that month, we saw the final comeback of ONE with Bad Guy. It was great, but the pandemic ruined a lot of the groups, and even the announcement of their disbandment still couldn't provide the best blowout of a final song they deserved. And in the next month, in August 2020, we were bombarded with a lot of major hits, including Hwasa's Maria, BTS's Dynamite, and Blackpink and Selena Gomez's Ice Cream. During that month, we also saw the release of the underrated ONEUS track To Be or Not To Be. I really loved it, and shortly after Ice Cream, Ace came back with the amazing Favorite Boys Goblin, but again, the competition was really fierce. A string of major hits and notable artist comebacks flooded the landscape in 2020, where it was hard to keep up with the new releases. Uptension's Light, ONEWE's Parting, and Sori's Initial S were all wonderful releases that never got any major attention at the time. Look, I get it, 2020 was a lot for us. But it was K-pop that helped get us through that shit storm, and we need to thank our babies for blessing us. That's right, bless it, bless it. But it really goes to show that K-pop is a hell of a lot bigger than some give it credit for. There's so much to discover within it. And don't fail me next time, okay? Hey, that's it for today, friends. Share below other K-pop songs that you think were overshadowed, and let me know if you want me to discuss more K-pop moments in time. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons for me. Check out many more of my videos while you're here, and I shall see you next time.